Today, I'm going to show you how I process our deer, and basically what we're going to do is quarter it up. It is right behind me. So viewer discretion advised. This is just meat. It's food. It's just in the whole form right now. All we did was take the skin off, of course, and then that exposes the meat. But we're going to take the shoulders off, all that other fun stuff. Show you over here on the bench. We have the station ready to go. Basically, I'm going to put all the meat here, all the stuff here to debone it. So once we get some stuff pulled off, we'll just cut it up. I'll show you how we do it. So this is where it's gonna get. You know, for some people this might be but for us it's just meat. We have front shoulder here. You can see she shot it about right there was when she finished it. But first thing you want to do is pull them front shoulders off. It's kind of what I do. They're super easy to pull off. So pull the front shoulders off and start there. So when you're doing a shoulder, I always grab from the inside and just pull it outwards, and then you're gonna just kind of cut it off. And you can see how it's kind of coming apart now as we open that shoulder up. I'm just going to stick my knife through the back side. Get up by the shoulder blade here. And this just shoulder pops right off. So there's our first shoulder. And there's the second shoulder. So I got a cut made all the way down the spine here for this. This would be the right tenderloin. Basically cutting down along the spine, kind of like filleting a fish almost. Once I get down to where I took the shoulders off here, I'm just going to come over sideways. Then I can start opening this up, really getting down to them tenderloins in there. And we're going to cut this way here. We can pull this and cut to that. All right. So we're almost at one tenderloin off. Ooh, she's cold. And we're gonna cut her off right above that here. And you can see there's a little bit that we missed and whatnot, but there's our main tenderloin. And this will just go to jerky or hamburger. So we got one loin off. So I missed a tiny bit on that tenderloin because it was a little tucked down in there, but we're eating it, you know? It's not going to waste or nothing. Obviously, I'm sure everybody has their own way that they do it, and this is just my way. This is just how I do it and my process of doing it. It gets it done. There's many ways to cut up a deer. We like to cut ours for hamburger and steaks and jerky. So we just cut it up and we use meat. Just like that. There's a big old hunk of tenderloin, and that is some of the best meat on a deer. Whew. Now that we got the back straps pulled off, take you around to the inside, we're going to look at the inner loins. A lot of people would pull these out and eat them. I'll say eat them right away, but there's your two loins right here. These are on the inside. This is some of the best meat. Usually you cut here, here and here, kind of stick your finger behind them and just pull them right on out. And then right here you can actually see it peeling right out of there. Get the knife on the back side. This is something, ooh, look at that. Look at that inner loin coming out. And then basically it just peels right on out of there. But that's your inner loin right there. That's some more of the best meat. So we'll do that to the other side. But here we have a hind quarter right here, and that ends right about where these, I don't know, where your back ends and your hind quarter starts. But I'm just gonna cut into here like this. And then we have all this is gonna be like trim. This is all gonna be hamburger. And we're gonna have a lot of that. So as we keep going on, we're gonna keep cutting all this little hamburger stuff out of here. And then I'll show you when we get to the hind quarters where we're at there, like even all this. I don't know what that is, but look at all that meat down there. So we'll cut all that fat off of it, turn it into some good just red meat. And so now we have the neck, and we're basically just gonna keep cutting right down the neck. And these are gonna be big old neck roasts off each side of this guy. Oh, just like that, there's half a neck. Cut that into little roasts, and then we'll go back through this stuff, peel all the rest off for hamburger. There's a lot of meat on a deer's neck, guys. A lot of people say, shoot him in the neck. Don't waste meat. That's a lot of meat. And then little hamburger, all that. Let's take a peek at the counter and check out all our meat. We have back straps, neck roast, inner loins. We have a front shoulder. We have the other front shoulder. And then we're gonna do hind quarter. But before I get that far, I wanna get the shoulders deboned and everything, so then I have room for the hind quarters up here. So I'm gonna start doing the shoulders, basically just pulling the meat off of them, because most of the shoulders are gonna go to hamburger. Otherwise we might get a steak or two out of the shoulder part. So let's see what we can do, because I like to cut all of our other stuff, say our jerky, you know, we might cut some jerky out of this too, some of these longer strips, say like this one right here. Follow that muscle goes all the way up and in. Here down, we're gonna go a little further forward here. See, we're still working with some good stuff. And I'm gonna cut that off now. On there, we could cut that into strips again, jerky or hamburger. Cutting until there's no meat left. So I just got the front shoulders, pretty much all the meat off of them and everything. That one had a broken front leg right there. But I have two different things here. I have this one is called trimmings. We'll be going through all of this, pulling all the white fat off of that. And then we have one that's pretty much ready for the grinder. This is all just gonna be hamburger meat. So there's that. And then I did manage to get like one little steak off of one of the good front shoulders. So maybe cut this into jerky for some whole muscle meat jerky. Otherwise, you could throw that right in a crock pot, have a little roast, pretty much anything. It's meat. Do what you want with it, just eat it. Hind quarters are the fun part because these are huge. One of them has some damage from the bullet, but we're gonna work around that. And then the other one, yeah, the other one's gonna be good to go. So before I move on to the hind quarters, what I'm gonna do is cut off the rib cage and everything else. So I'm gonna go through this really quick. I'm gonna peel a bunch of meat off of this, because then when it hits the ground, it's basically going into the dumpster. So we're gonna peel a bunch of meat off of this. We got a bunch of meat on that neck. Well, I got most of the meat off of the main carcass, and now I'm just gonna chop this off, and then we're gonna work on the hindquarters. Here we go. We get the saws off. Cut it right in half. There we go. Just butchering our way this morning we are. Gotta get this done so we can go ice fishing. Ice is here. So we got the hind quarter off here. This is the good one. We just went through the other one, but I'm gonna kind of go through this one, show you where you're getting your roast out of, how I usually do it. I just look at these seams where, you know, muscle attaches to different muscle and start there, you know, work your way in a little bit, flip it over, check the other side. So like right here, we'll cut in on this, and then got a little bit of one here. And I'm cutting right along the bone right here on the inside. And then we'll bring the knife up and around the knee, or whatever this really is, I don't really know. There we go. And then we can work it open here. There we go, hind quarter basically done. Now we just pick a little bit more hamburger off of it. And just like that, we got our whole deer deboned. There's a lot of meat here for this deer. That was a big deer. So now what I'm gonna do is basically just pull all the fat off. Throw the fat away and try to get some nice steaks cut out of it, or some roast and whatnot. And then I got some little cube chunks back here, which I want to do like shish kebabs. So we'll freeze a bunch of cubes in packages for shish kebabs, and then we'll go through this. We have roast. We'll have some venison to make jerky out of. And then we got this big old thing in the corner right here. This is a meat grinder. Hopefully this is gonna work. We're kind of borrowing it from a friend, kind of giving it the, let's see if it goes. We have a backup one, so if this thing pumps out the venison like it should, we should be able to go through the grinding process really quick. But this is the bread and butter right here. So we'll take this guy, we'll keep peeling this off of here, and then we'll have nice little steaks that we can trim up or butterfly. But yeah, just basically getting everything cleaned up now to be put it on the table and chow down. Got some neck roast right here, so like that'll go in the crock pot. Big neck roast. I got the inner loins over here. Probably freeze each one of those separate, or maybe even eat one of these for dinner tonight. But then we got some roast down here, some steaks and whatnot. Again, the tenderloins up here. And then we have all of our trimmings. So that's going to be the fun part, going through the trimmings and getting that. But I think I might bring the vacuum sealer out here and seal these up, get them in the freezer. So from in the woods to in the freezer. Some roast, some neck roast, some steaks. So pretty much one bin already filled up. Heading to the freezer. All right, so I'm just going through the trim here, and literally in this piece is the bullet. So here we go. Check it out. Piece of meat and the bullet coming out at you right now. Oh, look at that. That is super cool. So, wow. I wonder if this is the one from Sydney's or the one from the person that shot it before she did. I'll have to put it in the casing of an empty shell, and wild. Super cool. But that's why you go through it too. Little tiny pieces like this. All right, back at it. Just like that. All right. Oh boy. Here's our meat handle. Pork fat up with it. Just stuff like this. So we're gonna plug her in and let her buck. Let's get all this out of here in this bowl so there's nothing in the bowl. Ooh boy, I'm ready for this. Here she goes. There she is. Burger. Put a chunk of fat in. Just mix it up. See the fat coming out of there? Oh, this is going. Oh, there she's chewing it down. Oh, and it broke. Yeah. Grind up that pork. Big old chunks of pork. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, not good. She says stop. Too much. Got excited there. Look at that. Oh, mix that up with all this other burger. Okay, fine. We'll unclog you. Holy smokes. Oh, let's take the whole thing out. Or there's the inside of a grinder. Well, I was working on double grinding this, and it's just not pumping it out when I'm putting it through. So basically, it's just loading up on the inside because it's so old and worn out. Like, muscle chunks work great, but you try to put the hamburger back through it, it just sits there and gobs up and spins. So I'm gonna bring the other one out. I'm gonna clean this all up. The other one's like way smaller, hooked to a KitchenAid. But what I'll do is I'll just make little tubes and just put them through, grind them. The second grind, we'll be done. We'll be packaging hamburger. So let's get rid of this thing. Well, now that the big thing's gone, we'll break out the little miniature one and we just do a double grind. So, I don't know if everybody does a double grind, but it's something I guess I've always done. So yeah, here we go. All right. Well, got the grinders cleaned up, got all the burger here. Now it's time to take this and put it into packages. Pack this full, dump it into the bags, seal the bags, and just assembly line, not at your home. So, we these are just about a container full of this thing, so we'll say all right, huh?
Okay.
Look at that. So, I'm counting now.
3, 4, 6, 9, 10, 11, 16, 23 pounds.
About 23 pounds because
About, yeah.
each one is a little over actually.
Yeah, so there's probably
there's
not 30 pounds, but close.
Probably like 25-ish pounds, so pretty sweet. That's it to process in the deer, right? I mean, all we do next is cook it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So, time to reorganize the freezer, get all this hamburger in there, and yeah, thanks for watching the process of the deer. You had work all day, and I was working in here all day.
Thanks.
So, we got her done. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and like always, see you next time.